So a lot of people think that because he's 38 years older than me, we have nothing in common. And I'll screenshot a couple of comments and put them on the screen for you here.
So, and it's not just that you're 38 years younger, it's also that I'm 38 years older, right? And so we're obviously several generations apart. What in the world could the two of you possibly have in common? The answer is quite a bit. Now, in another video, we mentioned this, sort of played off of this idea that opposites attract, which is 100% true, but it doesn't necessarily mean that opposites stay together or that opposites are compatible. And when Lindsay and I first started communicating with each other, it was apparent quite quickly that we share a number of common interests, to include
baseball, football, all things sports really, all things Disney, and things like the beach. And for example, a couple of days after we started texting, I went with my uncle and bought my first surfboard. And I remember sending him a picture of it and telling him about it, and come to find out, where I surf is where he walks. And so that was a connection that was built right there.
Yeah, and to be fair, I've never surfed a day in my life. Now, I grew up in Florida. I obviously live in Southern California. I even spent some time in Hawaii. I'm not a surfer, but I love the weather at the beach, particularly here in Southern California. I would go to that location and walk. Now, since then, Lindsay's gotten me not into surfing, but boogie boarding, which I had originally done both in Florida and Hawaii. So again, it's not necessarily that opposites attract or even that the common interests have to be perfectly aligned, but that you have enough in common that you can grow and that you can change and that you can evolve together. So for example, Lindsay mentioned sports. I remember January, just a few weeks after we started texting back in 2022, she mentioned that she loved baseball, she loved the Cubs, and she loved listening to Cubs games on the radio. Now, I am a huge sports fan. I love baseball. I love listening to baseball on the radio. The Cubs are not my favorite team. My favorite team is the San Francisco Giants. Fortunately, however, she's not a Dodgers fan. I think a Dodger fan would have been a deal breaker. But I like the Cubs well enough that I can adopt them as my second favorite team. And again, that's another example of not being opposites, but not having everything perfectly in sync or perfectly aligned. We even argue about favorite Disney attractions, but together we both love Disney.
Yeah, absolutely. The couple of days after we started texting, when he found out that I lived in Orange County at the time and grew up in Orange County, 7 miles from Disneyland, that was a connection that was built. Ever since then, we've been going to a bunch of Disney parks.
Yeah, we go to Disney parks, we go to Universal parks, we go to Knott's Berry Farm. We have a goal of going to as many different parks as possible. But again, that doesn't mean we're 100% aligned, and that doesn't mean that we agree on everything. The number one marital fight that we've had in the time that we've been together is over whether Walt Disney World or Disneyland has the better Space Mountain. And that's okay. I'm perfectly fine with her being wrong.
I mouthed it as he said it because he says the same exact thing every single time.
Yeah, I believe that Disneyland has the better version. She believes that the better version is in Florida at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. Bottom line is we both love Disney parks. We both love Space Mountain. Quite frankly, some of the spark and some of the interest comes in the tension when you don't agree 100%.
So this whole thing of, I'm 22, he's 61, how the heck do you guys have anything in common is not at all true for us. But I can understand the assumption because the majority of my peers or people my age are into very different things like drinking and partying and going to raves and being social in general.
Yeah, and people my age are interested in spending all day at a theme park or, traipsing around Southern California, going to different ballparks or going to different stadium venues. This is another great example. We made the decision game day yesterday to go to SoFi Stadium and watch the Chargers play the Bengals. Now, again, we're both huge sports fans. We both love football. I'm a Cowboys fan. I don't dislike the Chargers. And anytime I can go to a game and especially see an amazing venue, I'm all in. I think out of anything that we've ever done, especially spur of the moment, last night was one of the best times we've ever had.
Yeah, it was so fun. I'm a huge Chargers fan. I feel like the season's a little bit different. So last night's game kind of exemplified that. And it was super fun to share that experience together.
Absolutely. So fun that tonight we're headed back to Inglewood. Everyone thinks we need to move to Florida. Maybe we need to move to Inglewood. We're headed back to Inglewood to go to the new Intuit Dome and watch the Clippers play the Warriors. Now, as far as basketball goes, we love college basketball. We've only been to one NBA game together. It wasn't a particularly great experience. But again, we love sports. We love basketball. This is a brand new arena, and the Warriors are in town. So we're looking forward to that. And it's another opportunity to be together. It's another opportunity to have fun together, which doesn't happen if your connection is over how different and how opposite the two of you are.
To conclude, we share very similar interests. It would be very problematic if he loved to travel and I hated to travel, or I loved sports and he hated sports, but it's not the case. So despite the age difference, we have a ton in common.
Yeah, and so our encouragement to you is, what do you have in common with your spouse? What do you have in common with your partner? And how can you grow in that? How can you evolve in that? How can you adapt in that? Because again, I'm not a Cubs fan per se, but I like baseball well enough, and I don't dislike the Cubs, that this has become something that we can enjoy and we can share together. If you only think about your differences, then you're going to remain distant and separated. So find those common interests and figure out how the two of you can come together around them, grow, change, adapt, and evolve.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hope that this cleared some things up and that you guys found it useful and maybe can apply some of the concepts in your own relationships. And if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, please subscribe, and comment down below what you would like to see next.
And oh, by the way, we both love cats, which means we both love Mr. Jones.
Yay!